nagging feeling in my stomach that this was it, that Alex was the one. There was no way I wanted a repeat performance of last time. I'd spent 10 years with my ex, and not once, not for a moment, had I felt so scared to lose him as I did when I lay wide awake at night, watching Alex sleep. For the last 2 months, he had been the most attentive, thoughtful, heartbreakingly wonderful boyfriend I could ever have imagined. He bought me little gifts, like the beautiful sunflower, my favourite flower, he'd brought to pin to my olive green Cynthia Rowley shift for the wedding. He surprised me with indoor picnics when I was on deadline, ran out to pick up breakfast before I woke up, and even trekked all the way over from Brooklyn to Manhattan with the handbag and keys I'd left at his apartment, as well as a huge hangover-friendly pizza when Jenny and I had both managed to lock ourselves out of our place at 3 a.m. We never did find out where Jenny had left the keys. But, most impressively, when I'd drunk far too much at a wine tasting I was supposed to review for The Look, he'd held my hair back while I threw up, outside a very fancy restaurant, while everyone was watching, on his shoes. And it wasn't just that Alex was competing for the title of world's best boyfriend. There was also the little fact that he was also a total rock god to take into consideration. His band had released their 3rd album while we were on our break, and despite a little commercial and a lot of critical success, he was still being a complete angel. While Jenny was loudly insisting that he should be out snorting coke out of groupies' belly buttons, Alex was lying watching America's Next Top Model eating Chinese takeout on our sofa. I peered up and down the table as we sat down for dinner, and couldn't remember a time I'd felt so happy or so at peace with myself. So what if these weren't the people I'd grown up with, or the people that had taught me to ride a bike? They were the people that had taught me to ride the subway and to stand on my own 2 feet, or at least how to get back on them after I fell on my ass drunk. Hey, how much does she make you want to puke? Jenny nudged me. How come she's been married like 7 times and I can't even get laid? I was just having a lovely quiet moment, thinking how lucky I am to have found such amazing friends. I tapped Jenny's hand, and then you go and ruin it. Aw, you love me. Jenny leaned her head on my shoulder and chucked me under the chin. And you know I love you too. But seriously, I'm going to cry. If you and Brooklyn over there think you're getting married before me, you're so wrong. Jenny! I looked over at Alex, but he was giving one of Thomas's investment banker friends his very best listening face. Shut it! We've been together for about 2 minutes. You'll jinx it. Not possible, honey. Jenny swept her hand over the candle in front of her. How many nights have you spent apart since you got back together? 3? 4 tops? He is totally into you. And I know you've got the wedding march on replay in your head. I will bet you anything that you have a ring on your finger inside the year. You want me to direct him to some of the more tasteful options? I know he's all, creative, but you have to get something you can wear for the rest of your life. I combed down my long, light brown fringe nervously. Seriously, stop it. We're taking things slowly, and you know it. Jenny smiled. I know, but it's totally obvious. And you know that I'm really pleased for you. It's awesome. But Angie, we have to get me laid. It's been 6 months for crying out loud. Oh, thank God, food. Yes, because I really feel like eating right now, I muttered. Dinner passed by altogether too quickly. The food amazing, but not soaking up the champagne as quickly as I would have liked. A sausage roll and a chicken drumstick would really have helped, but this was a classy New York function, not a Clark family knees-up. As dinner turned into speeches, and speeches turned into drinks, I excused myself from a fascinating research analyst who almost passed out when I told him I didn't have a pension, and went to look for people I actually wanted to talk to. Erin and Vanessa were busy fulfilling bride and bridesmaid duties at the door. Jenny was giving several of Thomas's friends her best nodding and smiling, while Alex was presumably hiding from the same people in the bathroom. He could dress up in a suit and comb down his messy black hair, but he couldn't hide the look in his eyes when Thomas and his friends started discussing stocks and shares. Without anyone to protect me from the same death by conversation, I vanished up to the balcony to hide. You planning on spying on people too? Alex asked as I rounded the top of the stairs. He was leaning over the banister, nursing a champagne flute, his tie and collar loosened. So this is where you've been hiding. I took a sip from his glass. Well, one more couldn't hurt. I thought maybe you'd left with your new boyfriend from dinner. Yeah, I think we've hit it off. You know, I've always been fascinated by